Good day, everybody, once again, with Morsels of a Thought number 1474.2. I am going to repeat what I read. The Rules Handbook is written by Sherrie, Schneider, and Ellen Fein, New York Times best-selling authors of The Rules. The Rules Handbook, a guide to creating loving and lasting relationships. It follows all these other books that they have written. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Okay. And I'm going to read what I read this morning. Sans story. Week 2 of Course 5, Create Respectful Marriages and Partnerships. All committed relationships need the rules. Your Rules Weekly Pep Talk. The rules not only work for dating, romantic partners, and husbands, but for various other committed relationships you have in your life. If you're the type of person who thinks she has the answers for everyone, if only so-and-so did this or so-and-so did that, everything would be wonderful. Remind yourself that you are not a relationship expert. This is when you need to pull back and realize that no one's asking for your advice. It sounds altruistic to want to save the world, but it can also be intrusive if no one is asking. This week, focus on waiting to be asked for help from everyone in every area of your life, including waiting for those on social media to contact you first. Remember, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Giving unsolicited advice can be misconstrued as meddling and also takes away precious time that could be spent on yourself. As spiritual leader Emmett Fox said, those who mind other people's business always neglect their own. What are you neglecting in your life? Do that and leave everyone else alone. Day 274. Rules for friends. Even with the best of intentions, chances are you will ruin a relationship if you give unsolicited advice. If you say to a girlfriend, "Hey, I've noticed you're always looking up," if you, I've noticed you're always hooking up and getting hurt. Boy, do I have a book for you. She may not take it well. She should call you and ask for help based on the way you date and live. When you call her, you could possibly catch her at a bad time and get a cold shoulder, like when you call a guy who is watching a ball game and he gets off the phone first. Ouch. Wait for women to ask for your advice, like you wait for men to ask you out. Yay. This is so you are applying the rules to all your relationships and you're being a socially good person. Day 275. Rules for buyer beware people. You probably think that buyer beware only applies to men. Not so. Anyone, including family members, friends, and people you work with, can be buyer beware people if they are only or primarily interested in you in order to get something. Maybe they want to meet your cute brother. Social climb. Someone famous or belong to a country club. Have you fixed their computer? Write their resume or act like their therapist. It's not mutual. Their motives are not pure, and if you didn't help them with whatever, you wouldn't hear from them that much. Buyer beware. Next. Love only those who love you and don't use you. Day 276. Rules for coworkers. Do you feel your coworker is taking advantage of you? Your boss puts you on a project with her, but you're doing most of the work? She takes long lunches, and that annoys you because you eat a sandwich at your desk and to get more work done. You want to have a few words, quote, end quote, with her, but you're stuck because your boss likes her. Do you have a history of watching what other people do and getting mad? We believe do your work and go home. Don't be a bean counter or a martyr and don't care too much. Life is a long road. You never know when she'll help you or put in a good word or just get another job. Day 277. Rules for work. Relationships at work can be challenging. There may be difficult personalities to deal with, mean bosses, nepotism, office gossips, backstabbers, and slackers. Do the rules at work by keeping your head down and not talking to anyone first unless it is absolutely necessary. Anything you need to know or do will be told to you. It's always a better conversation when your boss or coworker talks to you first. If you have an idea, suggest it once. Be a team player, not a star. Stay out of company drama and water cooler gossip. Go to work, do your best, and go home. But what if you work for yourself, say a life coach or tutor, and you feel taken advantage of by clients who haggle over money or go over their time? One coach told us she gave 3 hours to a client and only charged her for one. She was resentful and burnt out. We asked, whose fault is that? Remember, you're in charge of setting boundaries and prices, so don't be a people pleaser. Treat work and clients like dating or like a therapist, and say, so sorry, but you are out of time. They won't respect your time if you don't. They won't respect your time if you don't. You have to respect your emotions. So you have to respect your time to respect your emotions. Okay? Day 278. Rules for bosses. That was what I added on to respect your time if you don't. Okay, rules for bosses. Sometimes clients ask us how to deal with their disrespectful bosses. We tell them that while they can't make a mean boss nicer, their livelihood depends on making them happy. So try to be useful and stay out of his or her line of fire. One of our single clients is a ghostwriter for a wealthy publisher who swears a lot. She asked us what we thought of telling him to put $20 in a swear jar every time he cursed. We said, no, you work for him. He doesn't work for you. Don't try to penalize him. Don't you need to pay your rent? Unfortunately, you will need to walk away or ignore the swear words until you find another job or contact HR. In the meantime, don't take his venom personally because it has nothing to do with you. Higher self. Higher self. When she stopped caring and started looking for another job, his cursing no longer bothered her. Isn't that interesting? When you are on the way to something else and something that's really bothering you is still going on where you are, it's interesting how your mind says, thank goodness I'm going to be gone from this in a minute or in a time. And then you just don't feel it anymore. It's kind of interesting how that works. So I thought I'd read it because I want to see if I can make a shorter show, but it's just a segment, okay? So I'll talk to you later. Okay, old Kinderhack. Bye-bye.